Marshall, how are you?
Wow. I'm fine.
I cannot believe that you're on this show, these two guys. I love these guys. They're great. And you remember doing Twins. We did Twins all those years ago. Remember that?
You're kidding me.
Takes you back,
I miss you so much.
I work with let me tell you about Marshall, you guys. He's a total, you think he's a girly man because he's not with all the weights and all that, but he will stare you down with those eyes. He will give you that look. It's unbelievable, yeah.
Well, you helped me a lot with those weights.
Yeah, exactly. Then we did Twins, and then after that, of course, the Total Recall. I mean, you were unbelievable in that, yeah.
Arnold, I have to say something to you. We're in the midst of the biggest financial crisis, the state has ever seen, and you calling in like this is a little disturbing to me as a voter.
It's 8:30. It's 8:30.
I think the better question is, what the hell are you two doing?
You're the best.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I wish I could give you a great big hug. It must be really hard being you right now.
No, listen, it's fine. I remember, Lisa, in the 80s, you did not work with me, but you worked with Louis Ferrigno. I think you were on the Hulk back in the 80s. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. It's really interesting that you say that, because I was thinking about him the other day, and I'm hoping he survived the grape onslaught.
Grape onslaught?
Yeah, he was pelted by grapes during the episode. I don't know. It just
this was back on the Incredible Hulk.
He's always getting into trouble.
Right. I haven't seen him since.
Oh,
is he okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's fine. He's fine.
You have a B. Arthur impression. Is that true?
Oh boy.
Oh,
let's hear it.
Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, that was about all the dialogue you would get from her that wasn't, on the script.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
so she was a joy to work with, you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't say she was highly interactive,
okay,
unless perhaps you did something that was not to her liking. Which I managed to do one thing that she didn't like, which was I hugged her wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Because, hugging is uncomfortable for some people.
Sure.
And
but there's a wrong way?
Hugging and kissing, that's, I've done a lot of that in my work, and you have to be very careful with people.
I see.
What roles do you guys get recognized for the most?
That's a great question.
Well, mainly for me, probably number one is the one that Arnold called in about. My two Arnold movies.
Both those?
Yeah. Well, certainly the Quado with the thing coming out of my stomach and all that.
And Total Recall.
And then Twins, the two, because I think more people saw those movies than any other movie I was in.
Oh, sure.
A lot of people remember Elm Street Part 2, because that kind of has its oscilloscope thing. It kind of comes and goes,
Yeah.
And it's in favor now.
I was looking on your IMDb message board. I saw somebody wrote Nightmare on Elm Street 2 plus Marshall Bell equals priceless.
Oh.
We'll have to revisit it.
Yeah. But anyway, so those, and because the horror genre stuff, and then, actually Capote I thought would, but not so much.
Really?
Everybody's seen them go, oh, you were in Capote? I go, thank you, because I blended in really well, right? I mean, and I enjoyed doing it.
I thought you were really great in that.
I love doing it.
I loved that character. I mean, not a lovable character particularly, but I loved you as the character.
I agree.
And what about you, Lisa? What do you get recognized for the most?
If I've been crying, it's really odd. People recognize me from The Great Santini. I mean, I don't get recognized a lot for anything specific, but except that when I cry. If I have my eyes are a little red or something.
I would have thought that.
Even with that red hair, people
so
don't
weird.
go like
I think it makes me look like, a vulnerable child again or something. I have no idea. It's just too weird. But that and The Big Easy, I guess.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And The Big Easy is, I think, in many ways, my favorite because, although, like Marshall said, then I think, no, this was my favorite. No, they're all my favorite. But The Big Easy, I got to, it was all-male movie except for the Ellen Barkin role and the mother, played by Grace Zabriskie, and I suggested perhaps there were too many men in that, and I got to audition for one of the male roles, and then I got to create that role myself. So that I really, and I love that movie. I think it's a great movie. And
you got to play McCabe, right? McCabe.
Nice.
You don't meet a lot of female characters that just go by last name like that, but
Homicide Detective. Yeah, that was interesting. We worked with the police there, and I got to ride around New Orleans with the police, which was exciting.
Yeah.
It's really great when a director lets you make loves all the choices you make.
And you feel trusted.
And then you get to do the whole deal.
Yeah.
Actually, Ivan in Twins, of all people, I mean, Ivan is a hands-on guy.
Yeah.
He's got very little patience for dicking around. Excuse the term. And
I think it's okay.
And
we'll find out tomorrow.
He was really indulgent of me in Twins, and that was a very confidence-building period for me.
Cool. That being Ivan Reitman, of course, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it true, Marshall, that you were the first character to die in an episode of Tales from the Crypt?
It is absolutely
I didn't
true.
know that.
I was dead for the
That's
whole
very
episode.
interesting.
Oh, you were?
Oh.
Yeah, I was in the whole episode, dead.
Scary.
And
How did you do that?
I just lay there dead.